Hello, this is Richard C. Wilson of the Family Office Club. We have a member spotlight video. We're going to be featuring CA South and Meg Epstein. Welcome here, Meg.
Hi, thank you.
And Meg founded CA South Development in 2014. CA South is a boutique real estate investment and development company in Nashville, which manages its own commingled fund and thus is a fully integrated development and investment company. Meg Epstein was a 2019 finalist for Entrepreneur of the Year in Nashville and recently named Woman of Influence in the top 36 most powerful women in Nashville. And she was also recently named Developer in Charge by the Nashville Post. So a more casual introduction is that I've gotten to know Meg and Stephen and their team over the last couple of years. She's been connected here to the Family Office Club for 3 to 4 years now. And you've really grown tremendously since then. So thank you for joining us here today.
Yeah, of course.
So the first question here is, what is the one-liner kind of describing your investment firm, if you were to sum it up in a single sentence or line to kind of describe what you do for those listening?
Sure. So we're a vertically integrated real estate development and investment company, meaning we manage several platforms for focusing on residential and office opportunistic development and high yields, as well as opportunity zones for longer term holders and industrial flex office.
Okay. And I know you're based in Nashville. You do a lot of real estate development projects in Nashville. Why do you like Nashville? Can you talk to, whether you think it's too hot, because it has been a very popular space the last few years?
Sure. I think Nashville, I'm so bullish on it because I feel the long term, it's still so relatively small when it gets compared to other cities like Denver or Austin. Mm-hmm. And so I think with Alliance Bernstein moving here and Amazon's building a huge campus, obviously the economic climate's quickly changing, but I think it's the fundamental aspects of Nashville, like healthcare, the healthcare industry, academia, that just aren't going away. So I think Nashville is a strong bet because of all those converging factors when you compare it with cost of living and how accessible it is. And plus I've spent a decade between California and New York, and I live here now, and I don't find it any less sophisticated as a place to live. So
Sure. So we're recording this during the virus crisis, but I want this to be valuable when somebody listens to this, a year and a half from now, assuming your strategies haven't drastically changed. So can you talk to the impact the economic turmoil is having, or you think will have, but also even before the virus really became a thing and after it's gone, how you compete as a real estate developer against money going into, say, rehabbing a multifamily versus a ground up development. If you could talk to both things about how you compete as a real estate development firm, I think that'd be helpful.
Sure. I think whether it be the coronavirus situation right now or the market we were just in last month, one of the aspects, so we have our own debt fund that we've set up. So for example, we just closed a loan last week when I think every other bank is pretty scared right now to transact. Right. So that's definitely been able to help. I think our capital sources are patient and we have strong financial partners, and in our asset type, we're not just building one single asset that's our mandate that we've been doing for decades. And that does work for some developers and they do it really well, mm-hmm. but we're pretty nimble and opportunistic. So there's a huge spread in our profits of projects. If it gets prolonged over a longer course of time because we have to rent out a project as opposed to for sale condo,
sure,
don't over leverage. So, maybe it's slightly less profitable, but even if I cut my profits in half, we'd still be above 10% IRRs in going into a recession environment.
I see. Great. And then can you talk a little bit about what it means to be a female developer or a fund manager? Because we always try to have some female family office executives at our events. My wife helps me run, the Family Office Club. She actually is kind of the operational manager of the team here. But can you speak to your experience? Because obviously I don't have your perspective, and there might be other female executives listening to this, or just be interesting to hear that from you.
Yeah, frankly, I really don't meet a lot of other women in the private equity space or real estate private equity anyways. And especially I've noticed a big difference having moved to the South. That's even more exaggerated in terms of
Sure.
the women in commercial real estate in general. And, but, I like to see more diversity, but I do get mistaken a lot for, that people just assume I'm a real estate agent or interior designer. I hear that a lot. And I don't get offended by it, but I hope that, as we progress, that people become more, especially in the South, just more respectful about it. I think it's something I try not and, have a big edge on me about it, because it happens a lot. And it is very unique to be both a developer. I'm also a contractor. I'm a general contractor. So I've been on job sites my whole life. I've just kind of gotten used to it.
Sure. And also, you've had so much success in a short amount of time. I know some people that have spent 15 years and they don't reach the 250 million of assets that you've been able to reach. So what's a little piece of your secret sauce, your value add process? What's your go-to pattern that's just allowed you to repeatedly have this growth while a lot of other people struggle to get to a tenth of the size that you're at in this time?
Yeah, I think the critical mass was pushed. I mean, I started going to your conferences in 2017, and I've always been really into, outreach and making sure, going to conferences, reaching out to family offices, building relationships. But it's really just about, I had my first investor, take a chance on me on one project and then build kind of from that strength, do a really, really good job. Now we're 4 projects in, 120 million. I've never had, all my investors have reinvested. And so it's really easy to snowball once you kind of get that momentum. And I think it just takes a certain amount of consistency and not getting discouraged. It took me a long, first couple months to get my first deal funded, but I'm also very organized. We work a lot. I work a lot. I have a very driven team that's all tied to the back end. I think that helps. Right. Everyone down to my contractor gets some piece of the back end. So when all interests are aligned, I think it makes a big difference as opposed to other models. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of good points in there. I think like some people should go back and listen to everything you just said a second time and write down some notes, because you just shot out, 10 different things we could spend another 30 minutes talking to on some other interview for our podcast or something perhaps. Great. Well, what's the best way for someone to get in touch with you if they want to learn more, if they want to have a cup of coffee, if they know someone that could help you or want to co-GP or invest with you guys, et cetera? What would be the best way to get in touch?
My email, which can be, Meg at CA South Development, or LinkedIn is fine. I'm very responsive on both.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for joining us here, Meg. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.